bringing you a glimpse of the airwaves from the heartland of America.
Alpha Fox, Zero Fox.
Alpha Fox, Zero Fox. Good to hear you. 5 and 9.
There we go. Alpha Fox, Zero Fox.
I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot, Zero Foxtrot.
Are you live streaming this?
Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to another live stream of Heartland Ham Radio. My name is Michael. My amateur radio call sign is AF0F, Alpha Fox, Zero Fox, coming to you live today from my QTH here in Kansas City. Happy Saturday, now afternoon. We had some storms move through this morning, and there's a bunch of lightning and storms going on. And then, of course, now the sun has burped. So we'll see how conditions are today. But wanted to get a live stream in. I missed hanging out with you all. So figure we do a live stream and see how things go, I guess, this afternoon. So we'll be hunting some POTA parks today. These are folks that have gone out. They're operating their amateur radio equipment out in the bounds of a park, and they're trying to make contacts with folks. There's also the 13 Colonies event that's going on this week. I have all but one of the bonus stations, I believe. So I've been hunting those the last couple days. But if we hear anybody on, we might pounce on them and get another contact. There's also still the World Soccer Tournament that's still going on. So there's lots of on-the-air activities that are still going on today. We'll see how band conditions are, and we'll see how we'll go. So we'll be narrating. I'll be narrating as we go. But if you're new to amateur radio, Parks on the Air contesting, or just have any questions about what the heck it is I'm doing, let me know in the chat or the comments. Let's see, what's new in the shack? We have been doing some projects in preparation for some stuff for next week. So I don't want to spoil the fun because I've got a surprise for y'all probably for next weekend's live stream. So I did an outlet replacement project. That was interesting. So if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or followed my YouTube post, thought it would just be a simple outlet replacement. I was going to replace just a standard 15 amp receptacle with a commercial grade 20 amp receptacle here behind the desk. And what turned out to, what I thought would be a 5-minute project, turned into like a 3-hour project. So if you're interested in some of the details there, go check out that post. Also did some RFI hunting this week here in the house. Let's see, I changed out a power strip that I was using here on the desk with one that's got some embedded RFI EMI filters in it, which helped things just a little bit. I've been working on a custom Node Red dashboard that I'd like to use for the live streams, kind of show you some of the real-time data that's coming out of the Flex. So I've been kind of working on that with some AI coding assistance on the side as my assistant. So that's been kind of fun. And then also did yesterday spend some time getting my N3 FJP AC log all set up and in branded colors. So I got that all done, and I'll show that to you today on when we start hunting. So before we get started today, just want to say thank you to everyone who tunes in and supports me in the channel. This started out as something I wanted to learn just how to do, but didn't anticipate all the amazing connections I'd make with you all. So thank you for spending some of your valuable time with me here and hanging out in the ham shack. I think that's pretty darn cool. I always love getting your comments and your feedback. I'm good on QRZ if you want to email me after the show. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a new video or live stream. All right, I've got the radio turned on. We'll see how atmospheric conditions are today. Let's see what we got going so far today. Hey, we got K2J in here already. Anybody doing 13 colonies? Yeah, I see we got Kyle in the chat. Hi, Kyle. NN9Z. Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. I got kind of a high noise floor here going on right now. Actually sounds pretty good. I might give him a contact. He's been contacting here. You can see here we had the K index is kind of off the chart here. So of course the sun is burped here. So we'll see how radio conditions are. But probably going to be a little bit tough today. We'll see.
Okay, thanks. Good luck. 73 QRZ Kilo 2 Juliet. Who's it? United?
Some of these ops are just incredible that have been doing the 13 colonies stuff here. Let's see. I've got them twice. One on CW, one on sideband.
Okay, Kilo Japan 5, Hotel United. You're 59. Good luck. QRZ Kilo 2 Japan.
Alpha Fox, Zero Fox.
Okay, thank you.
Where is my mic at here? What's going on here?
Norway Whiskey 6 United, 59.
Check, 1, 2. Awesome. I'm not getting audio input into the radio. You know, it's never a dull moment around here in the ham shack. That's bizarre. I don't know what's going on here. Somehow DACs get turned on. Check, check, 1, 2. That's weird. Oh, it's because I'm in... That's exactly what's going on. I am still in digital mode. That'll work a little better. Check, check, check. All right. I was like, what the heck is going on here? All right, no DACs. Balanced input. Boy, what a day here. Okay, I'm going to turn diversity receive on. You guys can't hear this. I'm working on a flow that I could do so I could send you guys the diversity. This guy kind of faded into the noise here. Man, look at that high noise floor. I was hearing them pretty well. It kind of went to nothing. Guys, this is the entirety of the 20 meter band here for voice. There's somebody in here. This could be a little rough today. Got a new mic boom here too, so if you see me adjusting this thing, this will be my first stream with this new mic boom. Hey, there's Bill. Who's he hunting down here? Bill's my neighbor. He's hearing somebody I'm not. All right, Bill was... Who is he pouncing on? Right, somebody in the noise. You could turn some noise filters on here. See if we can get some... Look at that waterfall. Absolutely nothing there. Who was spotted here? Is somebody in here? He was spotted? 258. Kilo 2 Kilo. He might have been pouncing on Kilo 2 Kilo. There's Kilo 2 Fox. Just got spotted. I'm going to see, which ones am I missing here? I've got... N3FJP has this, you can go up to view in 13 colonies, and it'll give you 13 colonies for the year. So I've got Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta, Echo Foxtrot Golf Hotel, India Juliet, Kilo Lima Mike. I got WM3, and then Tango Mike. I'm still missing GB, GB13. So I'm missing that bonus station. But this is probably the earliest I've done, gotten all of them. I had to go to CW for a couple. For the French station, I had to get them on CW. Where was that? Yeah, that was on 20 meter CW last night at 23:07. It's yesterday evening. All right, I'm going to change my DX spotting assistance here. I'm going to get off the normal spotting cluster. Let me jump to my POTA spotting cluster and see if we can get some folks in here for POTA. Alright, give me a second for that to load. There we go. Seems like every time I do the spotting, it kind of messes up a AC log there at the display. But alright, we got those in there. We'll see if any... Man, is there another band that would be better? 20 is just wiped out here at the moment. Man. Kyle in the chat, I've been using Ether SDR with the Club Flex. I'm liking it much better than Smart SDR. I agree 100%. The later releases, I finally changed my install over to the Microsoft Store. And so it auto updates because they're just doing releases so frequently. It auto updates. And they did a 4th of July release yesterday or the day before. And yeah, there's a lot of changes in there. So I've been playing with that as well. It can. My one comment on it, I love it. So don't get it wrong. My one comment is the UI can get a little busy if you turn a bunch of the meters and stuff on. Now, I know it supports popping those out into another section of the another window, so you could have those in another area. But yeah, I've been toying with the idea of move into that for a stream instead of the Maestro here, so that you guys could see the kind of a whole software-based client. I've just got so much stuff going on the PC that it just makes it a little bit tough to get that get that tucked on another monitor here somewhere. And I like having the knobs right in front of me, but I could put it in control mode where I could use Ether SDR and then just use the knobs on the Maestro to still pilot and control. So I need to play with that a little bit. Also want to do I want to get a couple of Stream Deck shortcuts so I can do the diversity receive in each ear to you guys on the stream. So you all can hear my diversity receive when I have diversity antennas turned on, which I do right now. I'll turn that off because there's absolutely zero help at the moment. Look at this. There's just nothing. Is my antenna connected? It is. And we heard VBU. We heard Bill down the street. I got nothing right now. Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll go check out all the bands, I guess, and we'll see. There's everybody spotted. There's tons of people spotted in parks. 17. Anything on 17 meters? Were y'all having success today? Those of you that played ham radio today. Just looking at the spots. 18142, nothing there. Some folks spotted on 10. 10 was open a little bit yesterday. The solar flux was up at 200 or above, so that was awesome to see yesterday. So there are several folks in there. Just everybody's hanging out. Let's see, got some sideband folks. Is there anything on 6 meters? Got nothing on 6. Let's go to 10. We'll just take a peek on 10. Just my little birdies here that I think are coming from something in the neighborhood. Don't see any activity there either. Let's do 28074. That'll be FT8. Flip to digital here. Digital U. Yeah, that's usually my go-to for seeing if a band is open or not. Oh, I got my AC log is messed up here. I was messing with this when I was doing some digital contesting. I changed my rig interface here to I had set this to not set on mode changes. Now my AC log crashed. Good times, good times. All right, we'll bring that back up here. We'll see if this map's in right. No, it didn't. Of course not. Never a dull moment. Band map back in there. We'll get the spots table back in there. I think everything else mapped through okay. Man, a little rough today. All right, so nothing hanging out there. Anything on 15 meter? I don't know why it's not going to digital when I type 17. Yeah, I hear a little bit there on a little bit FT8 tones there on. Barely any FT8. That doesn't make voice a good, strong possibility. See, look at all these folks spotted. I got my POTA spotting cluster on now. I just don't hear anybody. Well, this can make for a short live stream. I guess I could go flip over and do some digital or something. These poor POTA activators. What's CW doing? Anything on CW here? Zoom this in a little bit. It's a little too much. Yeah, that's not faring well. Well, maybe we'll hang out and do some digital today. Never a dull moment. Yeah, I don't see any CW either. All right, let's do this. I think I'm 40. Probably a little early for 40 yet. Sun's not down. What are band conditions like where you all are at? Do you have anything? Is it just me? I'm just not seeing a thing. Noise floor is high. I got the mini split off. We got nothing. There's somebody. Missed what that was. All right, another person in the chat. Dead for me too. Even FT8 is dead, yeah.
Sierra, Charlie, Kilo, CQ.
Sarah Charlie Kilo? That's the first part of that. I'm glad it's not just me. Maybe I should have just scrapped the stream today. It's been such a good couple days playing radio. Like, bands have been pretty decent. Glad I knocked out the 13 colonies early. Had field day last weekend. It was pretty decent for field day, too. Yeah, check out this. Oh, man. I wonder what the aurora probability is going to be as sunset approaches here. Yeah. It's going to be pretty decent. Probably in the... if you're north of kind of the, Iowa, Minnesota, you're probably going to get a pretty good auroral display tonight. SQLKC says, did you get the 6-meter opening today? I did not, but I had a couple of 6-meter openings in the past couple days. I don't think it was great yesterday. I think I'm at it. Let's see, where did I have? Let me go back in my log here. Where's my 6 meters? Maybe it was longer ago than I thought. Oh, I've got all the field day stuff. It was before field day, so I guess that was more than a week. I did hear some people on 6 earlier this week. Where was it open to? Did you get any contacts? The guy that was calling CQ just went away, so he's probably I was gonna come back to him if he kept calling. I just didn't get his call sign. This is sometimes what it's like playing radio. Sometimes the solar conditions are good, and sometimes they're not. Let's go down here to FT8. All right, we do have some FT8 tones. We could go play some digital. All right, we'll come back up here. Oh, there's somebody maybe.
4th of July from Mike in New York. Whiskey Bravo 8, Bravo Fox Sierra, Whiskey 1 Kilo America. Good afternoon.
Whiskey 1 Kilo America. Yep, Christopher, yep. Solar storm for sure. Yeah, I saw the sun had burped, so. Hey, we got Fox in the chat. How's it going, Fox? Did you wrap up your special event? Hopefully you had a lot of contacts. I think I got you more in the log from Kilo Zero Charlie instead of my own call for your special event. Was that 2 weeks you were doing that? I have to go play some digital here. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just go play some digital and we can just sit and chat. Fox just got back from Canada. Was it any cooler up there than it's been? It's been so incredibly humid and hot and muggy here in Kansas City. Felt so bad for those soccer players. I think the Columbia game last night, that would be a definite warm one to play soccer in. Fox says, nope, it was hot. I'm glad you had a good trip. Hopefully you got to play some radio. All right, let's do this. Let's maybe reset up. We'll get our digital apps fired up here, and we'll just play a little FT8. Might be a little bit of a short stream today. And CW was good for field day last weekend. Made a handful of CW contacts. Got a couple of the 13 colonies. Alright, this is probably going to change my radio, so if it does, I'll mute it so you don't hear the FT8 blasting out. Alright, get that muted. Get that muted in my ears here. All right. Got some folks for decoding, so that's good. All right, let's get a little bit of music going. Since we're going to be playing some digital. Check real quick where my WRL log is going. All right, see some World Soccer Tournament stations out there. I am still missing Guadalajara. All right, let me flip over to my digital scene here. And where's WSGTX at? Where are you hanging out? And grid tracker updated. Grid tracker, where are you at? Where are you at? Why are you not loading? There you go. Good enough for now. We'll go with it. Pull that music down a little bit. Doesn't need to be so front and center. All right, I'll zoom the flex display in here a little bit so you can see the streams. There we go. At least we got a little bit of activity. When all else fails, we have digital. All right, if you got any questions about FT8, I got see Kilo Zero Charlie's in there. I think I'm up to, I forget how many contacts I got, probably 600 or 700 Kilo Zero Charlie, which is the Kansas City special event, call sign for the World Soccer Tournament. Yeah, usually this waterfall would be completely packed. All right, we'll do this because Open Ham Clock can read the same feed from WHJTX as Grid Tracker does, so I like this visual just a little bit better. So once we start transmitting here, see spots. Boy, some of these are kind of light, even on FT8. Whiskey 8 India Tango Charlie. Hi, Mike. I was able to get 13 colonies today. All SSB will still go for the bonus stations. Yeah, I got 2. I'm still missing the Golf Bravo bonus. But I did get Tango Mike in France. I missed that one last year, but I was able to nab them on CW. So that was fun. Got any POTAs in here? We do have some POTAs in here. A Cuba station. Watch my SWR and power here. Just make sure we're still doing okay. Yep. Okay. Tango 42 Fox Charlie Radio. Is that like a special event call? Let's look that one up. Tango 42 FCR. Hey, I got them. They're in a POTA park. Celebrating 100 years. Fidel Castro, maybe? They're in a POTA park, too. CU 0397. Oh, you heard me. All right, so we're getting to Cuba. All right, now you see the spots starting to populate here in Open Ham Clock. This is who's receiving my transmissions. All right, I'm going to go edit this and put the POTA parks in. It's POTA CU for Cuba. And they're in 0397. Well, you know the band conditions are bad, then there's only a few streams of FT8 you can hear. Looks like I'm getting to the coast pretty well. Southeast to the northeast is looking pretty good. All right, I do have a line. How high are they hearing me? Oh, that was up here. Minus 20 dB up there in northern Canada. All right, we got November 8, Papa Fox Kilo. Work them last on 30 meters. Minus 21 to me. I don't think I've got... Yeah, I don't have my N3FJP built into this scene. If you're just joining the stream, welcome. Solar conditions are a little bit tough today, so sideband was dead. We've got just playing some digital, but there's some... The weak signal modes are still got some folks out there. We just got Cuba. See, I might slide my transmit slot down here to 600. Well, as I do that, somebody comes up. Let's do 250. Trying to learn some keyboard shortcuts. I didn't realize how extensive WSJTX has keyboard shortcuts. Do a lot with my mouse, but when I was operating a few hundred folks in field day and for special events, I'm like, oh man, my hand is getting tired. I click in here, click in there. So they got a pretty robust set of keyboard shortcuts. So I've been learning those a little bit. All right, we're trying, Robert. Hey, we got Poland in the chat. Thank you for the happy Independence Day. Thank you for joining. Boy, the sun is not kind to the 4th of July atmosphere, so we cut over here to digital, see if we can get anybody on FT8. We did get Cuba. You can see the spots showing up here on Open Ham Clock from PSK Reporter. So I'm getting out. There are folks that are hearing me. But I'm guessing also, too, that folks are doing other things and not a ton are playing radio. Got Kilo Zero Charlie. Let's see, I can tell. Let's see who's the op working that today. What time is it? It is 4. Yep, we got Steve. KC0, Victor Yankee Sierra. He's working 20-meter digital right now. Steve's been killing it. He's been grabbing openings when there's openings. Taking a couple 2-hour shifts. That's been fun. Hey, we got Moscow in the chat. Romeo Victor 3 Delta Hotel Charlie. Hello, hello. Thanks for saying hi. Romeo Charlie 3 Charlie. Sorry, I looked at the username before the call sign in the message, so thanks for saying hello. All right, we'll jump on. Okay, I think we lost Papa Fox Kilo. Some of these are pretty weak. Well, there's tons of people out in POTA parks. Just not hearing them. Let's go back to this Kilo Juliet 5 Papa Tango Hotel. Worked them in the ARL Digi contest a month ago. That was my first digital contest. That was actually a lot of fun. So I think coming down on the backside of the solar cycle here, I'm going to try and set up and do a little bit more digital contesting. I was trying to play with getting my SO2R set up for WSJTX. I had an issue, though. I realized for some reason, N3FJP's AC log or any of the contest loggers that he has, didn't matter if I was using cat COM ports or cat Flex API. I had issues with the two slices when the logbook software was up. It was changing the frequency on the opposite slices. And so I was trying to have two bands going, one transmitting even slot, one transmitting odd slot on two different antennas. And it kept changing the frequency of the other slices. So I got to troubleshoot that a little bit and see if I can figure out what's going on there. I'm going to try it probably with N1MM. From what I understand, the M1MM from a contest perspective on the digital modes should work. I need to play with that a little bit more. But I couldn't figure it out. Even if I set two different instances of the contesting software up, one attached to a COM port for slice A, and then the other one to the other COM port, and it was still stealing each other's slice even when I took it out of using the network-based API. So couldn't figure that one out. I need to play with that a little bit more, but didn't have a ton of time to troubleshoot it, and I was kind of missing contacts in field day, so. But I wanted to practice that like not actually in a contest. I mean, field day is more of an on-air activity, so didn't want to be in a high-pressure situation because I tried to get it working for the ARL Digi contest and just couldn't get it going. I was missing a ton of cues, so I played with it for a little bit there, and then I had the idea. I was like, well, maybe something's up with the network-based API. It's not understanding which slice it's listening to, and so then I configured the COM ports anchored to the slices, and had each slice only talking to that COM port, but for whatever reason, it was somehow getting commands from AC log or the contesting software to change the frequency of another slice. So need to figure that one out. It's probably an N3FJP thing, I'm guessing, because once I killed N3FJP, it wouldn't do it. So there was something where it was reading the frequencies in for the cat control or something that was causing it to change the other one. So SO2R is pretty advanced. So, I mean, that's a kind of an advanced piece there. So that's probably going to be like 10% of the hams that are using that caliber of software. So I'm going to guess I'd have better luck with SO2R over on N1MM. So all right, see you in the chat. Username here is my previous call sign. Now Romeo Charlie 3 Charlie. I love that call sign. That's a nice short one. I like that one on CW too. Dot it. Been playing a little bit with trying to get my instant character recognition speed up a little bit. So I was playing with there's an ICR trainer over on Morse Code World, and so I was playing with that a little bit. I'll put a link in the chat. Let me actually go to the adaptive ICR. I'll send you the link right to the adaptive ICR. So I was playing with this a little bit this week, and it hooks to your microphone, so you can say the letter. I was trying to figure out a way if I could get it to do where I could just type the key on the keypad, or key on the keyboard, faster than saying it out loud. But that was kind of fun. Trying to get my speed up. I think I shared this in another chat another time. There's also, you might be familiar with Wordle. There's also a morsel. And so there's a word of the day. I'll put this link in the chat too. That one's kind of fun. You can go through, and it starts at like 40 words a minute, and then every few times you play it, it decreases by 5 words per minute till you get it. So that's kind of fun. So I've been playing with that one a little bit. That's kind of a quick one. And then it's got a Morse code practice piece too that you can go through and practice call signs and things. I've been starting it really high, like 45 words a minute, and then seeing how fast I can get them in. So I usually have to play them like 6 or 8 times, but I can get it. But I'm trying to get like the not having my brain stop on the individual characters. So all right, there's confirmation in the chat. N1MM works good with WSJTX and digital contests. That's great. Yeah, I think that's going to work better. I got SO2R working for voice. I haven't used it in a contest, but I do have N1MM set up with the 2 slices, and I have converted it to a lot of the examples and things you find online are based on using COM ports, and I really wanted to use network ports. And so I've got it configured using network ports. So I just have not used it in a contest. I just don't have a great 2 antenna setup yet. So I want to play with it a little bit. But when I get my coax run outside, I've got an extra pull of coax I'm going to set up so that I could hook to like maybe my POTA antenna or something like that I could set up just for a contest and then do some SO2R. So we'll see how that goes. All right, we got some folks in here that I don't have in the log either. So, hey, there's Alpha Fox Zero Echo. They're in Colorado. It's my neighbor call, my other neighbor call. Alpha Fox Zero Golf is Adam. He lives about 45 minutes west of here. And then Alpha Fox Zero Echo is in Colorado. All right, let's give a call here to Whiskey Alpha 4 Charlie Alpha Sierra. NCW, my call sign sounds great. Tested several contests recently. Yeah, that does sound great. Yeah, that RC3C, that's really cool. Hey, we got Lima Romeo Alpha in the chat. Kilo Romeo 4, Lima Romeo Alpha. Doing anything with the VHF contest today? I am not. Not today. I have not played much radio today, honestly. I was going to play radio this morning, but we had thunderstorms. I did a post on my social media channels on just a radar loop, so tons of rain and lightning and stuff in the area. So I was like, well, let's wait till that moves through. And then after that moved through, I was like, oh man, band conditions are terrible. So, all right, he's not hearing me. I was getting them minus 22, so probably just a little bit on the edge. Slide down here to 300. How about you, Tyler? Any luck in the VHF contest? Everyone is having trouble. 6 meters is extra poo-poo. And, well, no one wants to use 2 meters. And I'm lazy to stand in a field in 100-degree weather to use satellites. No shade there at all. Sounds like 6 meters was open earlier. I missed that one. SFI still relatively high. Like yesterday, I'm looking here on Open Ham Clock. Kind of see where my mouse is here. It was up in the 200s yesterday, so that was awesome. Of course, the K is really high. X-Class solar flare. Not lovely. But we had a few good days of radio, so no shade there. Got to take the bad days with the good days. We'll see how this goes. And Tyler says it's raining now, so hopefully some people get brought inside and want to play radio for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. We heard there were some fireworks going on last night. Yesterday probably would have been the pick day, at least here in Kansas City. It's kind of cloudy, and I still see some sprinkles going on out there, so it's not a great day to be outside here either. It's still hot. Like, it's still, I mean, it's muggy, but it's in the 70s. It's 75, but 75 Fahrenheit. So that's about 24 C. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. Sorry it's not more interesting today. All right, we lost Charlie Alpha Sierra. I did get an exchange. I'll go ahead and log them. I didn't get the RR73 back. But just in case he was sending it, I'll log it. Not going for a contest here today. Who else we got in here calling CQ? There's the RR73. Send him back a 73. Of course, now I logged him again. Clean that duplicate up. Clean up my WRL. That's the problem when you got all these logbook applications feeding each other and you get a get a dupe in one, then you get a dupe in the other, but they're usually one-way syncs. They're not two-way syncs, so I got to go delete them both places. All right, we got Charlie Alpha Sierra Emmett in the log. Slide down here to 300, and we'll see if we can. Tyler says, I ordered an 891 and an ATOS 120 today, so I have a 6-meter radio and a reason to study for my general. Definitely do it. Go get your general. I really missed HF when I was kind of took a break from ham radio. I lived in an HOA. It made it kind of tough. So I kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit, but wanted to kind of get into the digital stuff and was playing with DMR a little bit a few years ago. And I was like, you know what? I really miss HF. And here we are back in it. Found POTA through that. It's like, oh my gosh, it's all over after that. I have so much fun doing the POTA stuff. That's been a lot of fun. All right, got some spots. Got some 6-meter spots showing up here in pink on the open ham clock. Boy, all these folks are calling CQ are just kind of right on the edge. Don't want to get too close to lose them in an exchange here. Tyler says, how come no one talks about slot antennas when they say HOA? Use a thick enough material, they can handle some decent power. There's all sorts of HOA stuff out there for sure. I've had pretty good luck. I'm still technically in an HOA, but I've had pretty good luck with my DX Commander. It's just under the roof line. I can claim it can be temporarily. I can have it on the ground in 10 seconds. I just loosen a thumb screw and lay it on the ground. So easy peasy. No one can see the radials in the grass. All right, we'll try Mike Uniform Golf here. Also got a loop on ground I put in earlier this summer in the front yard. So I did that one in the front yard to try and get some separation. That's worked pretty well for the low bands. I figured coming into the backside of the solar cycle, the lower bands, 40, 80, 160, will start to get a little bit better. I don't have a resonant antenna on 80 and 160. I do have a 80-meter end fed that I put up for contests and things. It's not super high off the ground, so I don't get a lot of DX with it. It's more an NVIS antenna for some of the things like sweepstakes and some of those contests where NVIS doesn't work against me. You have to kind of research those. I don't know a lot about slot antennas. I just know there's more antenna designs and types than I can possibly keep track of. Learned that from Salty Walt and his antenna sketchbook. There's all sorts of stuff. Got squares, half squares, delta loops. Some of those I knew about, but it's like, man, some of these you can really do some cool stuff. Hey, Randy. How are you doing? November Delta 9 Golf. Watching from the Chicagoland Speedway, currently under rain delay. Well, hopefully you're staying safe, Randy. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. The band conditions are not great today. Play radio, so we switched over and just doing some digital. Couldn't hear anybody on the voice portions of 20 meters. Kind of did a swing through the bands. There was a few 13 Colonies spots that were there. We heard one of the 13 Colony stations, but they were gone by time kind of got set up to pounce. And I had already worked them, so I didn't want to take away from somebody else. I will tell you, I don't know how those 13 Colonies ops were not just ripping their hair out. I mean, you want to talk about bad ham radio behavior. Just people not listening, just them trying to get a partial call and then an entirely different call still calling. And it's just like, come on, y'all, just listen. This would be so much faster if we can just work through the pileup, but people were not making that easy on them at all. All right, there's Alpha Fox Zero Echo. It's a POTA. I'm going to pounce on him. Oh, am I buffering for some reason? I'm not showing buffering. That's weird. All right, let me know if I keep buffering. All right, Alpha Fox Zero Echo heard me. -4, not too bad. Hearing him -10. Random assortment of music for my stock music provider here. All right, we got AF0E again in the log. I'll go put his park number in here. He's in US 4410. All right, got them in the log. Randy can't even get a 5.9 on YouTube. Am I buffering to you, Randy? My OBS is showing 0 dropped frames in 52 minutes, so I've had challenges with that before. Usually it's my Cloudflare client. It seems to be behaving right now, so if others are getting a bunch of buffering, let me know. Anybody got any 4th of July plans not radio related here in the States anyway? Not Randy, it's on my end. Okay, good. I'm guessing if you're at the Speedway and you're in a rain delay, tons of people on their phones. Probably chewing up all the cellular capacity in the area. More pounds here on Kilo Fox 5 Tango Juliet Oscar. 650 miles. Let me do this. I can turn, let me come in here to open ham clock. I can turn a radar layer on here. Map layers. Weather radar. There we go. We'll zoom in here on Randy. Yeah, I'd say you got some rain going on there. Let's see. Some lightning on the south portion of it. I overlay the lightning data. Looks like we got some more getting ready to come into Kansas City here, too. Take a peek here on my phone. Yep, out over near Topeka. All right, we didn't get Tango Juliet Oscar. No longer buffering. I think it was a me thing. Switch over to Wi-Fi. It's working well. No worries. I have had it be me before. I usually go through and turn my Cloudflare client off before I stream, but the last couple times it has not been causing a problem. I think there might have been a bug or something that was going on with it. Looking for calls here that I don't have in the log. How about Echo Echo Hotel? That'd be a new call for me. James in Alabama. Hey, we got John in the chat. John and Michelle. Thanks for watching from Southern Michigan. From Sierra Golf Mike, November 8th, Sierra Golf Mike. Happy 4th to you and Michelle. The conditions are not great, so we just played some digital here. I don't know how long we'll stream. We'll see how it goes today. Coming up right on an hour streaming. Maybe do 90 minutes or something like that. Hey, they heard me. -10. Then -9. That's pretty good. All right, I got to take one of these tracks out of here because I keep getting, YouTube keeps flagging it, even though I pay for these stock music channels, so I'll pull that one out and then we'll go back. Sorry for the music jumping around there a little bit. It is such a pain on these copyright strikes to dispute them. Last time that happened is in one of my DX Commander videos. License track I played, it was licensed. It got misidentified as a different track, and it took my stock music provider and YouTube and the copyright claimant. Gosh, that took almost 60 days to get cleaned up, but then it finally just went away like it never even happened. So Randy says, I hope they don't call the race. Got my HTN headsets to listen to all these drivers. That's always kind of a fun part about going to those races with the listening to the drivers a little bit. Did they get any of the race in at all, Randy, or are they just in a delay to start at all? I forgot about the Worldwide Award going on, the Worldwide Sprint. I think it's just a week long. Some of these WWA stations. I got a few in the log. I haven't done a ton. All right, I've seen this November 5 golf call in CQ a couple of times. What is that special event? I don't recognize that GYPO. Get your park on 250. Okay. Activating special event stations. Flora fauna references include forest trails, wildlife refuges. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to pounce on somebody if somebody was doing a contest or something. All right, so we'll pounce on November 5 golf. Hey, we got Rob in the chat. Happy 4th to you as well, Rob. Hope we're all having a good 4th. There's Kilo 2 Bravo. What band do I have them on? Kilo 2 Bravo. I got them on 20 meters. Must not have been digital because it's not showing up in my digital log here. It shows up as a new call. Yeah, let's talk about the copyright things. It's just a pain. And it's like you can't do any monetization on the videos or anything while it's in that dispute state. And it's like, now it's with the cop, it's back on the appeal, then they have 30 days to respond. I have one that's like in day 16. That other one that happened on my DX Commander build video, that one took almost 60 days, but that was a misidentified track. Like the track sounded similar, and so the automation kicked it, but it wasn't actually the same track. So that was a mess. And then this one, I don't know what's up with this one. it did properly identify it, but it is licensed through my stock music provider, so I don't know. It's just a pain. Got all these automated systems that take action, and then when you try to dispute and do manual, and like none of that happens, or it just takes forever. Seems like if the strike CMS is automated, can we get the resolution somewhat automated too? I don't know. Just complaining at the universe here. And Rob says bands are so phone wise. Yeah, you should have seen the waterfall earlier. There was nothing. Nothing. FT8 tones were the only thing we were hearing. Kyle says I couldn't get Kilo 2 Fox. Let me see where I got Kilo 2 Fox at. Let's see. I got them twice. No, that was a different special event. Kilo 2 Fox. Yeah, see, I got them on 20 CW. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Single sideband. Sorry. It was 20 sideband. I was looking at the wrong line. So they're out there. You can hear you 14262. I can go take a peek up there. Let me throw another slice in here. Somebody spotted there. Oh, there's somebody in there. Put this on in my ear here and I'll see what I hear. I hear some people pouncing. So it's not completely dead. Rob, no cables to do digital. Oh, that's a bummer. I forget you have for radio, Rob, if you said. I forgot. They do make some nice interface boxes you can get for radios that don't have like native USB connections in them. I know a lot of the newer ones do, but some of the older radios don't have native digital support in them. John says there's been solar activity. Oh, there's been a lot of solar activity for sure. Yeah, I was sharing this earlier. Here's a picture of the D region absorption. You can see the K index here in the last 24 hours. We were up over 7. Okay, looks like it's still at 5.33. Sunspot number 97. SFI's 187. Normally that wouldn't be too bad if we just didn't have all the... Yeah, 6 hours ago we had an X class. You can see the solar stuff kind of cycling there in the left side of open ham clock. Bob says, Yaesu FT710 M70 desk mic. That's a bummer. I'm gonna look at that radio. 710 doesn't have a USB interface in it? Boy, I've totally missed that. Oh, it does have a USB interface in it. Just no cable for it? You just don't have a cable for it? Is that what you're saying, Rob? It's like, man, I was pretty sure the 2010 or the 710 had a cable in it. I've not used one, so maybe the setup is a little bit challenging with that. So many radios and so many different configurations to keep track of. went out and did a when I was doing a POTA activation and then pulled the FTDX10 out of my POTA box, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I set this up again? It's like you just get used to your main radio that you're using and been operating the Flex for several months, and it's like, oh crud, how do I do this? I mean, it came back, but it's always a little bit challenging. Let's bounce on Alpha India 5 Yankee Alpha here. Got Christopher in Texas, new call for me. A few more streams starting to show up. Maybe going into the evening here, things will come back around a little bit. Also, probably is a little bit of folks, having plans for the July 4th holiday and out doing other stuff, not playing radio necessarily. Yeah, they heard me. Minus 14. Send them back a minus 18. Right there in West Texas there. Julian says, 25-year-old radio, only has RS-232, but works DigiFine, even FT2. Do you have like one of those Digi rigs or something like that for the interface on it? Randy says, I just emailed you a photo of me at the track. All right, now I got to look. That hasn't come through yet, Randy. All right, let me check my spam. Maybe it's in my spam. Nope, I don't see it. It's probably making its way through the interwebs. Anton sent me an email as well. Asking what the tool is. This is Open Ham Clock. What else is in my email here while I'm looking at this? Here's your 2026 Kentucky QSO Party Certificate. Oh boy, what did I get there? It's a participation. I didn't win anything. I had 4 phone contacts. All right, Randy, I'll watch for that email coming in. I don't see it yet. Tyler asks, you use an FT8? Yes, this is FT8. This is WSJTX in FT8 mode. It's got support for a ton of digital modes. I use primarily FT8 and FT4. If you do any EME stuff or any of that, it's got a lot of those modes in it as well. It's also got some of the advanced operating modes like Foxhound, Super Fox, all those. If you're chasing de-expeditions and things like that, you sometimes use some of those modes. But yes, this is FT8. Often confused as a low power mode when it's really a weak signal mode. There are plenty of people that run a lot of power sometimes on FT8. Now you got to be careful with your radio because it's 100% duty cycle. Watch your tuners, watch your radios. I had an old on my FTDX10, I had a one of those matte tuners. Like Matt's one of the brands, LDG's another brand. The matte tuner I had was not compatible with full 100 watts on digital. They make a different tuner. It's like a 200Y or something like that. I forget the model number. That is compatible with 100 watts digital. Julian says, no, just 232 into the PC with audio into the digi socket. FT290, probably more than 25 years thinking about it. All right, I gotta look up an FT290 now. Or I'm sorry, 920. That's not a great picture. There we go. Rig pick database. There we go. Oh, that's a nicer. I do remember seeing that one. I put it on the stream here so you can see it. FT920. I remember seeing that radio. I never used one, and I don't think I knew anybody that had one. Does it have the year that was released? 1997. Okay. So that radio was out because I had my first HF radio was a IC746 Pro, and it was a 160 through 2 meters because it had 2 meter sideband in it. And I think this radio was out around the same time as that 746 Pro because I got that in 1999, I believe, and this radio had been out. So yeah, it's awesome. You can still make that thing work. Let's see, Kyle in the chat, 13colonies.us/ham alert. Set up your alerts for 13 colonies. Tyler asks, why so many people use it outside of a tool to measure propagation? Sort of an old guy mindset that if you're making conversation or gaining information for a contest, and it's like anything else, right? There's tons of modes you can do various things with. I definitely am not an advocate for any type of automation with FT4. You can see me moving my frequency around here and making sure I'm in a clear channel. And in fact, in WSJTX, you can't even leave, like it will disable the TX after every QSO now. You can't even turn that off despite there being a checkbox for it. So, but it's great for reporting propagation, PSK reporter and all that, because you can kind of see, you could transmit one CQ, just one. So FT8, that's going to be 15 seconds. You're just going to transmit for 15 seconds and you can see, where you're at across the world being received. So it's great for that. Like I said, you do have an exchange. You're exchanging kind of signal to noise ratio reports. You're kind of exchanging a report. Now, you're certainly not going to use it in emergency communications. So you're not going to be like sharing an injury list or a file transfer or anything like that with it. But yeah, great question. Like I said, it's I wouldn't have gotten my my DXCC 100 without FT8. I just had such a small pistol station that I wasn't able to get a lot of DX, and so using a weak signal mode like FT8, I was able to finally get 100 confirmed countries on various modes. Some of those were voice, but so I got my DXCC mixed with it. So I think coming down the backside of the solar cycle, you're going to see a lot more CW. Some of these digital modes and things more. Because voice is going to be a lot harder, especially with a, just a 100-watt station and a, simple wire antenna. It's going to be a little bit harder, but you can get some contacts out there. Even doing QRP, I've had some folks share their experience using, taking like a QMX, which I think that's like 5 watts, and doing FT8 with it. Like just load an FT8 client on your Android phone and do a POTA activation and get folks on 5 watts. So you can get down into the noise. From what I understand, kind of these signal noise ratios, you can hear audibly down to about -15. And then anything below that isn't even human auditable. So, you think of kind of what it takes to get somebody in a noise, at the noise floor out on voice. Some of these digital modes, you can dig out some pretty weak signals out of there. So I've had folks go down to all the way down to minus 25. In fact, just looking through my logs, one of my 13 colonies is Kilo 2 India. Yesterday, FT8 20 meters. I was hearing them minus 24. So they were really weak. So you can get down pretty low. So yep, but like all things, you don't have to do all the modes. You don't have to be a fan of all the modes. Find something you like doing. There's just so much diversity you can do in this hobby. And find what you like and stick with that. But I definitely steer away from yucking somebody else's yum. So if somebody likes doing something, likes playing, do it. It's more important you're on the radio and making contacts and doing things. Don't get hung up unnecessarily on the mode. Rob asked a question, has anybody heard of a logging program called Smart Logger? I have. I've not used it. Some folks in the chat, maybe they've heard of it. I'm going to pounce on this Victor Yankee 0 India Romeo Charlie. Randy, I still don't have your picture, so it must be either still sending or not coming through. All right, here was my gap in music. I had to delete that track out. Okay. A little over 2,000 miles. Way up into North Canada. Is that the research station? Yankee Victor 0 IRC. Victor Yankee 0 IRC. That is way up there. Up in the territory. No problem. I'm glad you asked the question there, Tyler. If you don't know, ask the question. Like I said, like in any hobby, you ask a group of people their opinion, you'll probably get that same number of opinions back on various things. So that's one thing I like about this hobby is you can figure out new things, try something for a little while. If you like it, great. If you don't, you move on to something else. All right, let's see if we can get Ron, Kilo 0 India Delta X-Ray in North Dakota. Coming in -4. He's sounding pretty good. Pretty strong into Kansas City here. Turn this radar layer off and make this a little less cluttered on the display. I heard me -9, heard them -9. Way up there in northeast North Dakota. I'm gonna Google that one. Let me look up Smart Logger there, Rob. I'm trying to think if I've heard it in the context of POTA. I don't see many screenshots here. Okay. Kind of got a modern interface. Looks like they have different apps you can install. Yeah, you have to let me know, Rob, if you play with it a little bit. I'm always interested in kind of what's going on with the various loggers. All right, Kilo Echo 8, November, Quebec, Lima called me. Here and then minus 20. Kind of down in the noise a little bit, but we pulled them out. Rob says, I'm on 17, 18, 135. Let me open up another slice here. All right, Rob, if you're transmitting, I'll see you on the waterfall here. I got another slice opened up here for you. We're on 17, listening on 18, 135. You can see it in the lower portion of the waterfall there. Kilo 8 Bravo special event. What is that one? America 250 celebration. Jefferson, Ohio. Lots of 250 celebrations going on. And Randy says it's horrible cell signal. Yeah, if you're trying to send a picture, I'm sure big file getting out of there on a transfer of an email. Hey, we got Kyle, AA0Z, saying hello. How's it going, Kyle? Been a while since I chatted with you. It's great seeing you in Dayton. You guys killed it getting the Missouri QSO party results out. That was awesome. Just playing a little bit of digital here. The sun conditions or solar conditions making it a little bit tough to do anything voice related today. Rob, I didn't see anything on 17 meters there. All right, we got Kilo 8 Bravo in the log. Kyle says, good seeing you. I was going to stream today for 13 colonies, but shut down due to storms. Yeah, we had the same thing. I was going to stream this morning, and those storms just kind of lingered here. There's tons of lightning, too, so kept the radio disconnected. I was playing with some Node Red stuff. I was trying to get a custom flex flow built. I want to kind of feature it here on the stream, so I was playing with that a little bit, and that kept me busy this morning while the storms were coming through. And then after they passed through, I was like, well, I'll go ahead and stream. We'll see if we can get anybody. And we had to switch over to digital because there was nothing we were hearing on voice on sideband. So yeah, I did a fresh install of Node Red on my Raspberry Pi, and then decided to rip off the Band-Aid. And if I was going to be coding something custom, I was going to do the version 2 dashboard format. So kind of starting from scratch, and was trying to get something here for the stream. I want to kind of build a web interface to do some visuals and stuff on the live stream here. So just playing with that a little bit, but a lot of the documentation is still on some of the older version 1 dashboard stuff. And then when I reinstalled it, put version 5 of Node Red on, so it's got some UI changes a little bit too. So that was kind of most of my stumbling blocks, was getting the differences in those versions figured out. Always learn a lot doing those types of projects, though. It's like couldn't figure out. I thought I was messing something up. I was playing with some debug nodes, and then come to find out I just didn't even have any option turned on for the debug node. It's like, oh, you didn't tell me to actually do anything. It's connected with a line, but you actually have to tell it what you want to debug. So that drove me crazy for about 45 minutes going, why did this break all of a sudden? I don't know what caused that to be unselected, but you know, it's just the fun, normal programming stuff that you deal with on that stuff. All right, we got Kilo 8 Bravo. Any other ones here popping up? Approaching 5 o'clock local, 1700 local. Been up here hanging out in the ham shack for several hours. I should probably go check in with the rest of the household. Appreciate y'all stopping in and hanging out with me a little bit this afternoon. Well, the PSK reporter spots are a little more feature rich. Looks like we're getting into Europe now, finally. Minus 22, pretty weak, but minus 15 into Italy. It's not too bad. All right, I'll pounce on the WWA station in Dominican Republic here. Hotel India 4, Whiskey Alpha. Kill this other slice here I had on 17 meters so you guys see that a little bit better in the waterfall. Got a surprise in the works for next weekend. So next weekend is the WRTC contest that's going on. A couple guys from the Kansas City Contest Club are going over to compete. I think they're on Team 4, North America Team 4. We got Drew, K3 Papa Alpha, and Morgan, November Sierra Zero Romeo, both in the Kansas City Contest Club. They're going over. Be awesome. So they're chatted with them earlier this week, and they're all nervous, but they're going to do great. They're both good ops. So yeah, definitely be watching for the WRTC stations next weekend. It's kind of a contest within a contest. So the WRTC, if you're not familiar with it, is every 4 years, and you have to qualify for it. And the leaders in each of the regions get to pick their operating companion. And so they go out and operate. This year it's in England, and everybody goes to England. And from what I understand, it's a drawing for which operating spot you get, but all the spots are, relatively similar antenna setup, or the antenna setup is all the same, but the location is kind of scattered throughout multiple sites. So I think there's just under 50 groups, something like that, I think. But anyway, it operates in conjunction with a IARU HF contest next weekend. So it starts at 7 o'clock local here in Kansas City on Saturday. It goes for 24 hours. So I'm going to try and work as many of the WRTC stations as I can. So if you operate any of those folks, spot them all. They'll be operating with different call signs, so you're not necessarily going to know who you're working. Obviously, you might be able to tell on voice for some of them, but don't cheerlead. Try to work as many of them as you can. And they're limited to 100 watts, too, so some of the best operators in the world will be operating from WRTC next week. Yeah, Kyle says, WRTC is tough. Yeah, and England propagation from here is not going to be great for me, at least with my small pistol setup. So might get some folks on CW potentially. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself on CW, but it'll mostly probably just be macros programmed, but it'll be a pile up for sure. Hey, we got Pedro in the chat. Greetings from Spain. Hopefully your solar conditions are a little better over there tomorrow, Pedro, for your event. They're kind of brutal over here currently. I had to switch over to digital to get anything today, so we're kind of late in the day. We had some storms passing through here earlier. Pounce on Victor Echo 3, Oscar Lima in Canada. 900 miles away. Transmitting during lightning isn't advised. I wouldn't do it. I try to keep the stuff disconnected during the storms, if at all possible. Yeah, Kyle confirmed. 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'll be working from the contest station for IARU, probably as Whiskey Zero Echo Charlie Charlie. Whole crew coming in for the weekend. Awesome. Well, good luck to y'all. I'm going to try and work as many as I can, so we'll probably get going first thing on Saturday. I'll probably do a live stream. We'll see. Hopefully the contest conditions are good. I don't think Oscar Lima's hearing me here. We'll give it one more transmit and we'll back off here. Yeah, the WRTC is kind of the Olympics of ham radio contesting, so it's every 4 years, and I think they will announce the next location 4 years from now at the end of this one, from what I understand. So I honestly was not super familiar with WRTC. Obviously in the contest circles, lots of guys know, and then to have two guys from our club going on one of the teams is incredible. They've been practicing. They did a field day setup with their radios because you have to bring your own radios. You have to bring your audio interfaces. You have to bring your own interlocks. All the stuff you need. They all have the antennas provided, but you have to, have your radios, your logging programs. Each team has a referee that sits with them. The entire thing has to be recorded. The referee audio has to be made available. So there's a lot of things to haul with you, and you're traveling into a foreign country for some folks. And so you got to get all the equipment through customs. It's it's quite the adventure. These guys putting a lot of time and money into that event. So I hope they have good conditions, and I hope it's a good event. It's so crazy, these qualifying events for WRTC. Obviously, there's not a ton of big time contests that happen in the summertime, right? So you qualify for this event, when the contests are usually fall, winter, early spring. And so you're going to pick these folks up, take them to a different area that they don't normally operate in. You're going to have them operate in a period of time when conditions are opposite of, what a winter contest would be, and you're limited to 100 watts. So, I mean, it really is as I learned more and more about it, it is an incredible testament to the amount of operating skill. Just to qualify for WRTC, it's incredibly difficult to qualify for WRTC. So to even just qualify, have a qualifying score, and then pick to be on a team, and it's quite the deal. So I'm excited for the guys, everybody, all the participants from all over the world. I'm excited for them next weekend. So I hope they have good conditions, and I hope tons of people can operate and get them in the log. I know, Kyle. I heard the same thing. I'm really hoping that would be really cool. And I tell you what, we could probably get some folks, from this area to come over to volunteer to help. So I think we could get Hams to help for sure, even if it's 4, 5, 6 hours away from here in Kansas City. But that would be really cool. All right, there's another one. LTA. I have them in the log. No, I got them in the log. 2024 field day. Don't have them on digital though. South Carolina. All right, where am I being spotted here? Northern Alaska. Not spotted, just received. Minus 14. Tequila Lima 5 Papa Fox. North Central Alaska. 3,000 miles. Kyle says that would be awesome. I agree. That would be really cool. I think we get a lot of folks to help out. Hey, LTA heard me. Oh, we're down there in the noise. Minus 20, minus 19 for both of us. Be watching this week on my social media channels. Might have a surprise coming this week. We'll see if it actually happens, but there's a reason I've been doing some of this electrical work and other miscellaneous things in the shack, so we'll see if it comes together this week. GB 13 colonies 40 FT8. That's one I need, Kyle. Maybe we'll switch over there quick. Get this exchange with Taft here. Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Tango Alpha. Hey, it's the long form of my intro music. Obviously with vocals in it. These are supposed to be vocal-free tracks. Oh man, come on. I'm trying, Taft, I'm trying. I changed my transmit to be on his transmit. Just see if we could get through the noise there. Hopefully it's clear on his side. Oh, he got me good. All right, we got Taft in the log. Once I get this transmit, Kyle, I'm going to flip over. I'm going to see if I can get him. 40 might be a little early for me here. We'll see if we can get... that's the last one I need for 13 colonies. I'll wait one more transmit cycle, just make sure nobody pounces. I've had that happen before where I've pounced on somebody and then I wrap up a queue and then somebody else pounces on me and I'm not calling CQ. Never know. Sometimes somebody needs a state, somebody needs a grid. Always try and answer those if I can. We'll let this decode cycle go and we'll switch over to 40 meters here. All right, let's see what we got. All right, I see some colors. That's a good sign. So maybe 300 hertz is open for a slot. Let's see who we're hearing. I saw them spotted a couple times yesterday, and I couldn't hear them. So the same thing happened to me with the French station. And I finally got them on CW. Just witnessing what I witnessed on CW for 13 colonies, I cannot imagine what these WRTC teams are going to be dealing with on CW. Like, holy smokes. There were nearly 45 seconds I couldn't even decode them because people were calling zero beat right on top of them. It's like, how is anybody getting them at all? The ops are just incredible. I did not run into a subpar op on any of the 13 colony stations. They were all really strong, the ones I ran into. So they were working through those pileups as best they could. CW ops were really good, the ones I encountered. If you're ever dealing with a pileup like that on CW, don't overlook your XIT. Shift your transmit above or below and kind of watch who they're answering and where those people are. And you can kind of figure out where you need your XIT to be. But that's how I got the French station. I mean, there's probably 20 people calling them zero beat. I was able to narrow my receive up right to 50 hertz. So the flex, I can go right to 50 hertz filter and had them dialed in. I had just a little bit of fading just with the distance, but got them locked in. So I wasn't dealing with the people just right near them. I was still hearing the zero beat people, but, and then I think my XIT was like 70 hertz up, and he called and then didn't come back. Tons of people didn't come back, and I just hit my call again, and then he heard Fox 0 Fox question mark, and I was like, I hit it again, and we got the exchange. I was like, yes. I love when I can break a pile up like that. I'm not decoding them here on 40. It's probably just a smidge early for 40 here, but I'm going to be watching for him still. Like, that's the one I need. And I'm not trying to get him on every band. All of them, I've gotten all of them except Kilo 2 Charlie on 20. I've had some on 40, some on 17. Kilo 2 Charlie I got on 17. Whiskey Mike 3 I got, and Tango Mike I got on 20. Just missing Golf Bravo there in Great Britain. Yeah, a little more sparse here on 40, but yeah, I'm looking at the graph kind of here in Grid Tracker. It looks like everybody's on 20. That's where most of the PSK reporters are. Some on 40 starting to tick up just a little bit. All right, let's go back to 20. Maybe we'll do 20. Let's pop into FT4. We'll see. I had tons of luck on FT4 during field day. And the one thing that was surprising to me is I got so many folks. I rarely see FT4 activity on 40 meters. Almost all of that tends to be FT8. I worked a ton of people on FT4 on 40 meters for field day. Obviously, FT4 being a faster exchange, 7.5 seconds instead of 15 seconds. But I think just it was so busy. There were so many. I mean, it was hard to find a transmit slot on the FT8 frequencies. So, but I had a lot of fun doing FT4 for field day. So that was really cool. Fast exchange, put it in special operating mode. So you quick 2 back and forths in 7.5 seconds. You pretty much done in less than 30 seconds. So you could really crank out the rate for sure. I got a Kilo Papa 4 in Puerto Rico. Let's call back to them. They're -4. They're pretty strong. Hey, we got Andy in the chat. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good 4th. Rob asked, what kind of cables do I need to do digital? You just got to get a mic and a receive audio into the computer. You could do that any number of ways. So, you know, a lot of the radios in the last couple handfuls of years have had, you know, USB interfaces on them with a sound card device that you can just select that as a receive device. But if you can get mic audio in to the radio and receive audio out of the radio, you can just get like a USB sound card, and you'll have to set your levels manually if you're doing that, but that's really all you need. You'll want to spend just a little bit of time getting your audio level set right. You'll want to back off the transmit audio. That tends to be the biggest thing. Is on my FTDX10, I ran it just like a notch off the bottom. The flex is different. You can see the power meter here cranked up to the top, but it's because it's doing it in software. It's all API based, so it can handle those levels a little bit different. But if you do some Google searching, you'll find kind of how to set up your radio for FT8. So that's probably the biggest mistake I see is people just overdriving the audio, and then you'll splatter and you'll see these big, huge, you know, dark red signals on the waterfall, but then you'll see cat whiskers going out, you know, a slot above and below, and you're taking out 3 slots just because you're over modulating your audio. So you want to watch for that a little bit, but it's not too hard to set up. So lots of good videos out there on it. Here's Mexico. 6 Delta 2 WWA. The WWA that takes place in the wintertime, I believe, goes for a month. And then I think this summer one, they call it WWA Sprint. I think it's only a week. There's been quite a few WWA stations that I've seen. So you can see where that receive kind of goalpost is in the waterfall. And you can tell there's a signal there, but it's not super bright. There's a 9 alpha in Croatia coming in, minus 13. Let's see if they call CQ again. I lost the WWA station. So you can kind of tell a visual representation of how it's digging it out of the noise there. Yeah, Rob, my email's on QRZ, so it's current on QRZ. If you want to shoot me an email, I'd be happy to help you out. Let me know. See if Randy's pictures come through from the raceway yet. Nope. Probably still sitting in his outbox. There's WWA back. We're in Mexico. All right, let's pounce on the Dominican Republic WWA station here. Getting used to my mic being down here. I lowered it to a different mic boom here. My other mic, I liked it hanging. The problem is the hanging mic boom was right across my visual from one of my monitors. So I was like constantly doing like this up and down and up and down. I was like, okay, I got to lower this mic so I can see all 4 monitors here and still look down and see my Maestro and not be obstructed. I think we'll go to the bottom of the hour here and we'll probably wind it up for the day. Yeah, a little bit of QSB here. Until they were in there, I didn't see all of it. Oh, there's Croatia, of course. Let's see if... There's Croatia calling again. I'll call them. Rob, I'm locked out of QRZ for a couple of years. Oh, man, that's no good. All right, let me... I was hoping you'd have an email in there, Rob. Doesn't look like you have an email in there. Email me here, Rob. It'll redirect to my main email. My AF0F.com domain just redirects to my YouTube, but the mail will come into my other email address, so just pop it into there. If for some reason you get a bounce back, just let me know. And make sure that's a 0, not an O. Somebody came up. I see a little shading under my transmit here. Let's pop up here to 600. Croatia didn't hear me, so hearing them better than they're hearing me, probably. See you, Rob. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Have a good rest of your 4th. Safe rest of your weekend. I'm going to wind it up here in the next few minutes anyway. Just trying to see if I can pounce on a couple of these folks here on FT4. FT4 is a little faster, but not quite as... little bit wider, and then not quite as low on the weak signal. These -16s are going to be kind of right at the edge. Got some QSB in here too, because you can see where you decode and then it'll go several seconds and not get a decode and all that. Appreciate y'all hanging out here late in the afternoon on the 4th. We'll see. Maybe if conditions are better tomorrow, maybe we'll do another live stream tomorrow. We'll see how things are going. We'll definitely do a live stream next weekend for some portion of WRTC. Yeah, the conditions are just a little tough on FT4. We're getting decodes, but we're not getting a ton of cues here. We got one. Yeah, they're just right at the -16, -17. I just can't get to them. Not with 100 watts. They're calling. They're calling. All right, we'll take one more peek here on FT4. We'll see if there's any fun ones out there. There's Kilo Zero Charlie. I don't know how many contacts. I think Steve, when I looked at the schedule, he was the one operating. Let's see if that's still the case. 4th. Going into the back end here of the special event. Yep. KC0, Victor Yankee Sierra. I don't know how many contacts he's got. He's got to be in the thousands at this point. There's still a week and a half left to go in the World Soccer Tournament special event. I need to see. I still need Guadalajara, but Guadalajara only operated for 4 days, which is kind of cruddy. So I need to get Whiskey Charlie 5 Whiskey Charlie. That's the bonus station. And I have W4C Atlanta in the log. They just must not have uploaded their logs yet because it's still showing as not contacted in the log. And I have them twice. Let me double check that. Whiskey 4 Charlie. Yeah, I've got them twice on digital modes, FT8, 20 meters. So I don't know. 2 different days and they still don't have their logs uploaded. You're supposed to upload them kind of when you're done with your shift, at least once a day, which is what I've been doing when I've been operating the call sign. So I'm a little worried about that one. I'm pretty sure Guadalajara is gone because I look at their schedule. Their last was like the 26th of June with no other time scheduled. And then I got to get the Whiskey Charlie 5 Whiskey Charlie bonus station, which I think just started today. So that one could cover my Guadalajara, and I just might need to try again for Whiskey 4 Charlie and see if I can get Atlanta in the log. So, hey, we got Francis in the chat. Hello. Happy 4th of July to you. Any plans tonight? No, we don't have any plans tonight. It is cloudy and been rainy here all day. It's been kind of hot and humid generally. And so I don't believe we have any plans this evening. We'll see. Usually someone in the neighborhood puts on a pretty good show. There was a pretty good one across the street last night that we don't have to go far to witness some fireworks. So, but yeah, I think we're just hang out here. Sometimes 4th weekend, we'll go to the lake or do something like that. We're kind of laying low this week or this year for this weekend. So how about you? You got any fun plans for the 4th there, Francis? All these stations are pretty weak that I don't have in the log, so I'd like to see something above minus 20. There's Kilo Papa 4 Papa Whiskey. It's a new call for me. Grant says, might light up some fireworks tonight. Nice music, by the way. Oh, thanks. Doing digital modes, I had to come up with something, so. All right, Kilo Papa 4 Papa Whiskey coming back to me. Apparently we're doing well down into South Florida. Yeah, I had to get some background music for when we do digital. There's obviously voice, you can listen to the radio, but on digital, I mean, if you really wanted to hear these sweet, sweet FT8 tones, there you go. I figure people would rather listen to some light music instead, so. All right, we got that one in the log. See if there's anything else, and we'll wind the stream down for today. Said it before, but I appreciate you all hanging out on this Saturday afternoon / evening, or early morning if you're very early morning if you're over in Europe, which we had Pedro in there earlier. Any other ones in here I want to pounce on? Panama's pretty light. I think several Kilo Papa 4s in here. flipping over, looking at my grid tracker here. Keeping my eye out for Whiskey Charlie 5, Whiskey Charlie, and then Golf Bravo for 13 colonies. It's the last one I need for 13 colonies. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other ones in here. I do hear 75 stations, though, now in my grid tracker call roster, so maybe things are starting to get a little bit better here as we head into the evening time. Change my transmit slot here. Let's go ahead and pounce on this Puerto Rico Kilo Papa 4 Golf Sierra Charlie. It says, I need to find a way to boost my channel. All the channels I joined a year ago, like you are almost at 1,000. I'm at 200. You've been busy too, Francis. Like, got school and all that sort of stuff. So I've been kind of falling down on my post live video processing. I got several in the backlog I need to do and get clips emailed out to POTA activators. I think it was like 4. I generally don't do that for contests, but I will do it for the POTA hunting. And those, gosh, I think I'm like 4 or 5 episodes behind. And then more than that on actually emailing people. So try to get those chaptered quick. But it takes a lot of time. You do a 3 or 4 hour stream, and then you go back through and try to chapter the videos with the time codes and get clips emailed out to people. And even with some automation workflow, it's a time-consuming process, so a little bit of a grind for sure. Oh, thanks, Francis. Yeah, we are almost to 1,000. 835. Got the counter behind me here. Appreciate that. I started this 18 months ago. I wasn't sure what to think. I did a presentation this week to the Kansas City Contest Club about live streaming and podcasting, and I was looking back through and kind of sharing my experience, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was 18 months ago already. That's crazy. So it was fun kind of going back through, and I went back to some of my first streams, and it's just like, oh, these were so bad. And questionable if they're still good, but definitely made some incremental improvements since the first couple. Holy smokes. But you got to laugh at yourself. That's how you get better at anything, right? You know, try something, get a little better every time, try some different things, learn something new. I've enjoyed the journey. It's really been beyond just figuring out how to do some of this stuff, it's been the amazing connections that I've made with you all. So that's been the biggest piece of this. Just met some of you at Dayton, and for the first time in person. That's what's actually made it fun. Well, we didn't get this Puerto Rico station. Get one more decode cycle here, see if there's anything interesting. They're all green, which means I've worked them before. All right. I think we'll go ahead and wind things down for today. I appreciate you all hanging out with me and spend a little bit of your 4th of July with me here on the radio. So bummer that conditions weren't a little bit better to do some voice. Tons of folks were spotted out in parks. This is typically a great holiday to catch people out in parks because there's lots of folks camping for the weekend and things like that. So bummer we couldn't get some POTA folks in the log, but I appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit today. We didn't go super long, but a couple hours with you, and I'm glad we did it. It's always fun hanging out and sharing a little bit of the Ham Radio Shack with you. I'm usually up here playing radio anyway. Why not hang out with you all and we can share ham radio together? So I appreciate that. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and say 73. Have a great, safe rest of your 4th of July and weekend. And hopefully we got some surprises in the works here, maybe this next week. And next weekend is WRTC. So we'll be on the air next weekend as well. I shared earlier, we got two folks from the Kansas City Contest Club that qualified and are on one of the teams which is like the World Cup or the Olympics of ham radio contesting. So definitely watch for those stations operating out of England next weekend. And so we're going to try and get as many of those folks in the log as we can. So I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I like to sign off this way. Have fun with your radio. Remember, it's a hobby. Be kind to folks and stay curious. 73-year-old. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.